Hello and welcome back to our series 100 questions that we have answered. As we've mentioned previously in these videos, these are questions that have been common from our clients and maybe some of these questions you've had yourself. Today we're looking at the question, is this a good target date fund? We get this question all the time from people who have retirement accounts at work and they've opted into a target date retirement fund, which is a fund of funds investments that generally sets a certain date in the future and says, hey, I'm 35 years old, I want to retire at 65, so I'll pick the target date 2055 fund 30 years out from now. Now, the question is this a good fund for me to invest in? Well, let's look at a couple of the complications or issues with these target date funds. The first and foremost issue is sometimes you don't know what is actually inside of the fund. So it may say a certain percentage of stocks and another certain percentage of bonds, but you don't actually always know what the underlying holdings are. Are those stocks in the US? Are they big? Are they small? Those questions are not always answered. The second question is, what are the fees on this target date fund? Sometimes you might be paying multiple layers of fees in a target date fund, one for the fund, one for the underlying funds inside of it, and then maybe also a fee in your 401k. The other issue is these target date funds are not customized to you. So being 35 years old doesn't necessarily mean you have the same risk tolerance as another 35-year-old person. The other issue is oftentimes what we find is these funds get much too conservative, much too early. So even if you pick the most aggressive target date fund, what we see often is a 35 or 40-year-old client who has the risk tolerance to hold 100% of their 401k in stocks will have a 15 to 25% allocation already in bonds. And these funds actually get more and more conservative as time passes. The final and most critical thing that we see as an error in target date funds is that they set the retirement date as your finish line. And what we often tell our clients, especially our retiree clients, is that the day that you want to retire is not the finish line. Often you hopefully have 25, 30, 40 years in retirement where you actually need to live off of the portfolio. So it's very important that you have enough equity exposure, even in retirement, to maintain that sustainable income level throughout your retirement. So is this a good target date fund? It's an interesting question. What we prefer to do in the work that we do with all of our clients is look very specifically at their individual 401ks and help them identify what are the underlying investment options I could pick and then build them a customized portfolio inside of their 401k, or if it's in an IRA or a Roth IRA, we can help them manage that very specifically to their goals, their income needs, and their retirement timeline. So thanks for these questions. We're happy to keep answering them, and that's all for this week.